From increasing storm chances to a flood risk to a whole lot of snow in New England. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping you posted on all of it. We've got a lot to watch here, including, look at this, a whole lot of rain moving toward the southeast, of which we have not seen in months. Honestly, you have to go back to Hurricane Helene to find more rain than this, and it's going to come down in buckets going into next week, even into next weekend. And there's a lot to unpack with this storm system, including the potential that there's severe weather in some of this. And on the north side, it's going to be so cold this entire time that it's going to be a whole lot of snow, not a whole lot of rain. If you're new to the channel, please consider liking this video. Let me know in the comments section where you're watching from. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. It's the best way to stay apprised to whatever is coming our way. My goal is to always keep you posted about severe weather. And speaking of, we need to talk about that potential, because moving forward here, there's a lot that I'm watching in the coming days, including the potential that we get some stronger storms to mix in with this. So looking at the severe risk specifically, this is an experimental product put out by Colorado State University, and it's really effective at looking at where we could have severe weather. And when you look at Saturday, Sunday, Monday, kind of really even. There's not really much of a high threat. We'll keep watching it. There's a front moving through, especially Sunday, that could bring at least some degree of storm action in these areas. But right now, it looks like through that time frame, we're fine. But then there's a series of low pressure systems trying to develop beginning on Tuesday. Most of the southeast is wedged in with cold air, so not worried about that. But this is the beginning of that low forming and deepening here, where severe weather could break out across the nation's midsection for you folks in Arkansas, Oklahoma, up through Missouri. Then that front catching up with the low and the track of the low, depending on all of that, we would need to look out for at least some storm risks or severe risks here through Wednesday, Thursday's time frame. And here's why. We've got a very volatile air mass in place next week, separating unusually warm air to the south and cooler air to the north. And anytime you get that kind of mixing is when you get the potential for more storms to form. And that's what we have to look out for in this case, is where does that form? And specifically looking at that time frame of the Tuesday and beyond is where we'd be looking at. So our models are doing a pretty good job at handling this. Let's look at the brand new European that came out today. It shows just basically the onslaught of rain in store for the south and the east going into this upcoming week. So let me take it to Saturday. We've got spotty showers around. We're still so mild. Notice that 540 line, that blue line there, that separates the colder and the warmer air. That's way far to the north. So we're going to be stuck with some warmer air for a while this weekend. This front moves through Sunday morning. It takes a while for the colder air to move in, but eventually most areas in the south are cooler to wake up on Monday morning. This sets the stage for a number of systems to develop and move quickly off to the east, bringing with it rain and storm threats each time, but also bringing with it snow on the north side. So I want to unpack this for you day by day. Here's Monday. You've got this low developing back here through Texas, all right? Then Tuesday, you've got snow on the north side, rain and storms down here. That's where we'll be looking out for. This boundary that separates warmer and colder air, and then this high here bringing in colder air. So it's going to be a rainy, cold day for a lot of people in the Carolinas and Georgia going into Tuesday. But on the north side, Virginia, West Virginia, up through the northeast into New England, boy, oh boy, this is quite a bit of snow developing on Tuesday. So snow on the north side. This is Tuesday at 1 p.m. We've got snow in Virginia, heavy, widespread rain across the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, quite the soaking. Gulf of Mexico is open for business, right? It's sending in a lot of rain here. Then Tuesday night, that system exits. There's snow breaking out across Pennsylvania, New York, up through New England and Massachusetts. Boston in particular, one of the areas that's just going to get dumped on. Feet of snow possible here over the next week to 10 days. All right, so let's look at Wednesday's time frame here. Here we are going into Wednesday, another system buckling up here through Louisiana, Texas, very similar. Snow on the north side, storms and rain on the south side. This time, this low looks to be stronger. And anytime you have a low pressure system like this in the south in February, the spring for that matter, you have to look out for the potential that could it be severe weather. A lot of cold air, a lot of warm air down here. So we'll have to look out for storms anywhere in here going into our Wednesday afternoon time frame. And the track of this low does send a lot of wind energy, a lot of twisting and turning of the winds in Wednesday. But you get the picture here, more rain. Let's switch over to the 6-hour product and move this thing forward. So Wednesday night, Thursday, this is a very strong low pressure system with an attached cold front to it. You've got ice and snow. Snow's breaking out again for New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, up through New England. A lot of snow. I mean, this is heavy, deep snow moving into those areas, while the south is still getting rain and storms, and a lot of that rain. I'm going to show you totals for both the rain and the snow in just a moment. But here we go into Thursday, Friday's time frame. Okay, we're finally taking a break, but nope, that's not it. Folks, there's another low pressure system here Saturday. This would bring in additional rain Saturday evening into Sunday of next weekend. Big, deep low pressure system. Could have strong storms out of this as well because there's a lot of cold air behind that one. A lot of warm air here. This would be next Saturday night into Sunday. I could be dealing with storms. That sweeps through a lot of the country, breaking out into snow here. Could be rain to snow and quite a bit of it up through New England again next weekend. Then we're cooler. You see the direction of the winds coming out of Canada. It looks like we're colder the 16th, 17th, 18th, maybe into the 19th. Then we're warming things back up with yet another system. This would be a 6th system moving to New England, moving through the Northeast with snow and another rain storm possibility here for the south, because look how warm we are. That 540 line's way up here, so it's pretty warm and unstable down here mid next week. So again, after the Super Bowl, throughout this whole time frame, through the 20th there, we've got to have our eyes peeled for severe weather. Let's unpack that. What does that look like? Well, here's fuel for thunderstorm, what we call CAPE, convective available potential energy. And in this case, as we go through Monday, here's Sunday. I don't want to let our guard down with Sunday, but right now it doesn't look to have a lot of juice with it. The colder air does arrive. That suppresses storm chances through Monday. But look what happens on Tuesday. Back through Texas and Louisiana, you see here, we've got some instability starting to bubble up. And then Wednesday of next week, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, something to keep an eye on in those areas. Maybe in the South Georgia Wednesday. But here we go. Remember that other system I told you, the second one coming through? Deeper, stronger low pressure Wednesday, Thursday. You've got CAPE values down here approaching 1,500 to 2,000 in Texas and Louisiana. That would be enough fuel for a severe weather outbreak there. Strong winds, some gusty winds, and then possibly even some isolated tornadoes. That threat, as it stands now, does start to elevate into central and northern Mississippi and Alabama. Even into the Atlanta metro area, you've got some CAPE here going into next Wednesday night that could be enough to support some stronger storms. And then Thursday, as that front moves through the Carolinas, depending on the timing, right now this would be 1 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday night and Thursday, could have enough for some thunder here across the western Carolinas into Georgia. All right, that starts to swoop through, and then Thursday afternoon, it's moving through parts of Columbia, up through the I-77 corridor into Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham. Something to keep an eye on right there. And then yet again, remember I told you next weekend, another low pressure, deeper one here toward the Midwest, surges warm air to the north. Look at these CAPE values above 2,000, folks. That's spring-like instability. That's something to keep an eye on, and that does translate into the Carolinas to some degree, 700, 800 to 1,000 into next weekend. So what I'm telling you here is it looks like it's a very stormy pattern here. Probably not early week because that's more just a cold rain. But beyond that, we've got to keep peeled for storms. And as I show you, because many of you want to know, is it going to lightning and thunder? My dog freaks out, my kids freak out, I freak out, whatever it might be. And I know there's a lot of outdoor activities going on, so lightning is certainly a danger. None of it Monday, but Tuesday, notice the lightning detector back here to Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi could have some lightning. And then going into our Wednesday, quite a bit of electricity here from Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia to the Carolinas. This could be quite the electrical show with some storms next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. or I should say Wednesday night, Thursday, that could move into the upstate. So some rumbles of thunder, certainly some strong storms. Do we get under a severe risk? Depends on the temperature profile, but lightning and thunder certainly in the cards there. How about rainfall totals? I've looked and averaged all the different computer models here, and they're in pretty good agreement that this could be some dangerous amounts of rain. And I know that's fresh. I know that's fresh for us, everybody that's been impacted by Helene. But here's the deal. We're just a few months removed from the worst natural disaster to hit the Western Carolinas in history, all right? So our banks, the creeks, the streams, the riverbanks aren't the same anymore. And in fact, they're in many places kind of holding on. And there have been a lot of temporary bridges, whether they're pedestrian for you to walk on or vehicular bridges where you can drive over them. Temporary bridges have been put in place. They're not meant to withstand any load of water, okay? So if we do get some flooding, those could be washed out or those could be damaged, and we need to be very, very careful of that, okay? The numbers that I'm seeing are not Helene numbers. And honestly, I don't think I'll go my entire career ever reporting Helene numbers again. That was a 1 in 100-year storm, epic proportions that I hope we never see. That said, we are going to get a lot of rain. It looks like 5, 6, 7 inches of rain will be possible for a week's time frame. But that's the good news, is it's spread out over enough a period of time that hopefully it's steady enough that we can handle that. You just don't want it to rise waters too quickly. And that is a possibility, especially Tuesday night through Wednesday night, Thursday morning's time frame. That would be the time I could see flooding being possible. So again, something to keep an eye on. As far as snow is concerned, many of you are watching now in different parts of the country. Well, while it's a whole lot of rain for the south, look at these snow totals. Like I said, they'll be measuring it in feet over a week's time frame. You go from Boston, almost a foot, up through portions of New York. I mean, we're talking 28 inches, 27 inches to Maine, Vermont, ski country up here in Burlington. My word. I mean, we're talking almost 2 feet of snow. With it not really reaching farther to the south. So this is the rainy, stormy side. This is the snowier side. So an active pattern has different implications for different people. And when you look at the probability of an inch of snow or more, almost guaranteed that north of North Carolina is going to see accumulating snow within the next week, while areas south almost guaranteed to not see snow. Temperatures, while they cool down, are going to be variable. We're going to be cooler than we should be. Here's an example of Greenville, Spartanburg. For your town, maybe a little warmer, a little cooler, but we do cool back closer to normal next week. This is next week, living in next week's land. 30s and 50s for highs. As we get up to 60 a couple of days, especially Wednesday and Thursday, that could be stormy time frames there. But then we kind of ride out the rest of February near normal. So we're going to have to be watching this very closely. Simply put, flood and storm risks are ahead, and you need to stay dialed in on it. Time frame would be next Wednesday, Thursday, then again next weekend if we get storms in the south. But simply put, flooding is probably a bigger risk for us moving forward. A couple of rumbles of thunder here and there. But temperatures are warm this weekend, back to near normal next week, and we're going to get a lot of rain. It's going to be quite the soaking. So impacts, outdoor activities are going to be tough to come by Tuesday, Wednesday especially. Maybe Thursday, maybe Monday, as this thing is on either side of that. But we'll have to watch it closely as the active pattern continues. Hope you and your family have a great weekend. I will keep you posted. Again, if you're new to this channel and you appreciate the level of forecasting or detail and want to hear something more, please let me know in the comments section. I do read the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And again, if you will do me the favor of letting me know what city, what town you're watching in, it certainly helps me out. Hope you guys have a good weekend.